This is a big module, but I wanted to cluster the driving elements of what wakes us up during sleep. Our first goal is we want to breathe through our nose while sleeping and also during our waking hours. We have established that it is beneficial to us, for it helps regulate lots of processes in our body compared to mouth breathing. We also know mouth breathing contributes to a lot of issues. I'm going to start with the quick do this for sleep, then go into a step-by-step things to consider for those who have nose breathing challenges. I was a snorer, and with my sleep audio recording app, I found that when I would snore, I'd move and change my sleeping position. That meant my body woke up. Because I moved, the body stopped doing its work like repairing my body. This would happen a bit, and for me, it was definitely a snoring issue because of my mouth breathing while sleeping. I can also reflect that in the winter months, I would sometimes wake up with a sore throat because of the cold, dry air entering my mouth. So there are two products we can buy to stop us from mouth breathing during sleep. I first tried this. It's a chin and mouth strap. Just Google it online. It's made of wetsuit material. I found it kept me awake and I couldn't get used to the sensation of pressure on my face. It might work for you, so don't go off my judgment. Try it out. The second is what I use now. I just tape my mouth with paper tape. There are specific mouth tapes on the market that you can try. You got to be aware that lips are more sensitive than the rest of your skin, so experiment first before you go all night. It did take me 3 nights to get used to it. The first 2 nights, I ripped it off because it felt really weird, but now I'm used to it. My results? If I've not eaten close to bedtime and not had any alcohol, my app shows that I don't snore. If I have, I will snore, but only nasal snoring, and I generally don't move. So that means my body is still appropriately paralyzed, so repair can take place. When I first started mouth taping, my snoring went down by 70%, and I wouldn't reposition myself. I was quite surprised, actually. Because I've forced myself to nose breathe, I feel like my airways are so open. It's really proved to me from all the research that I've investigated that it works. Give yourself time to adapt to this strategy. If you find yourself uncomfortable in the middle of the night, take it off and do it again the next night until you feel comfortable. The step before this, start being more aware of your breathing during the day. Just check in as much as you can and make yourself breathe through your nose. There are lots of muscles involved here, and because they are muscles, they can be strengthened and coordinated. So yeah, it might feel uncomfortable at first, but habits are hard to change, but they can be changed. So check in, breathe through your nose, and make sure it's not shallow. Go deeper, don't force it. Also, sit up, no slouching. The breathing process is more effective and efficient when you're open and not tense. You need to stop and check in with yourself. Am I sitting upright or slouching? Is my head level so I'm not putting constriction on my neck? Am I relaxing my belly so the diaphragm can do its thing? To help develop the muscle memory and upper airway musculature appropriate to nose breathing, start exercising with your mouth closed. You might have to start with a fast walk and then build up to a slow jog. And then if you're really keen, sprints. I can now do sprints and recover with nose breathing. Again, I've practiced it. Just a side note, I'm not recommending nose breathing over mouth breathing for what's best for exercise. I'm advocating practicing nasal breathing during exercise for developing upper airway muscle tone and nasal breathing during sleep. Good sleep is always my goal. So, tongue position. It's very important. General correct resting position of the tongue necessary for nasal breathing and good dental care requires the tongue to sit in the roof of the mouth when not talking and eating. The tip of the tongue should just be behind the top of the teeth, or the top teeth. The tongue is a movable set of muscles and turns out can influence the airway by how it's positioned. Links below for more information on that. Is your tongue touching the roof of the mouth when you're not eating or talking? There are actually exercises for the throat and tongue so airways don't collapse during sleep to counter snoring and apnea. Myofunctional Therapy has a set of exercises which have shown to help those with obstructive sleep apnea. I'd like to leave this to the experts and presentations that have good diagrams and demos, so links below. Some of us hate exercising, but the reality is that it's going to help our weight control and heart and lung resilience. For our sleep breathing goals, work towards getting rid of the fat around the gut that makes the diaphragm have to work harder, and around our neck that is going to get in the way of upper airway muscle tone. Remember, every system in our body affects everything else. So if we get everything into the recommended range, we should be sweet. That word, balance again. Lastly, if this is just not working, we need to look at your physical structure and hay fever. Hay fever is statistically a major cause for going from nose breathing to mouth breathing. Other issues include enlarged adenoids, enlarged tonsils, and an obstructive deviation of the nasal septum. You're going to need to consult with your doctor or an ears, nose, and throat specialist. If you have these issues, it's going to be so hard to breathe through your nose. So everything I said before will be difficult to execute. So in a nutshell, here are the steps to nasal breathing during sleep. 1. Consult your doctor and ENT to see if there are any structural issues and strategies to control hay fever. 2. Start exercising with the aim to get rid of excess fat in the neck and belly areas so those breathing muscles aren't restricted. 3. Start being more aware of your breathing. Make yourself breathe through your nose as much as you can. 4. Use a chin strap or tape your mouth during sleep. 5. Get your tongue in the right position when it's not eating or talking. 6. Start breathing through your nose when exercising. Build up from walking to jogging. 20 minutes of jogging a day with nose breathing is going to do you wonders, not only for your sleep, but your general health.